I was confident that it was going to be a cracking last day's cricket, that is for sure. I would say that India were in the driving seat going into the day, but obviously as the rain sort of chipped away some of the overs, it became more of an even contest. And I think had we have got some overs in there, we'd have been in for a few fireworks on the last day, which would have been really good. I was perfectly happy with the balance at Trent Bridge. I think we got that right with the bowling attack that we had. Equally, we have to look at things moving forward. You take a Ben Stokes out of that squad, and it makes it difficult to balance all the time. We've had that before. We had it in the New Zealand series, and I think we're just having one of the seeming all-rounders at the moment. It does, poses problems for us, and something that we seriously have to think about. Yeah, I think we do. Joe's been, phenomenal for the last, 6 months, really scoring runs for us. And what we need to do is make sure that the guys that are batting with him, around him, are coming to the party as well. So that's one thing that we've certainly touched on in the dressing room. It's something we're talking about constantly, obviously, with the guys that are around Joe. And it's something that I've spoken to the batting coaches about as well, and encouraged conversations, obviously, between the players and the coaches to try and find a solution for this, to try and help them get better. It's not through lack of effort, it's not through lack of hard work. It's just a case of we have to try and find a formula that works for that player now. So that's a work in progress at the moment. Well, yes, first of all, I have spoken to Jofra, yes. Obviously, when the news broke of what was happening with him, he was a little bit down, which is understandable. But formulating a plan moving forward with the medics, he seems in better spirits now. I think the big thing for me, and I've said this all along, is the importance of just making sure that we give the best support possible for Jofra. And when we do get him back, it's at the right time, so that he can sort of go out and enjoy himself in all formats of the game. Making decisions on prioritise or anything like that, sort of few formats we will do closer to the time, really. But I think the most important thing is that we give Jofra the help and the support and the time he needs to make sure he gets right. As a person, as a bloke, he's fitting beautifully. He works extremely hard, as you all know, and he's looked extremely good in the nets. And obviously playing that game against India that he put his best foot forward there and scored runs. So, he's putting a really strong case forward. And as I say, he's a pleasure to have around with us. And he's the type of character that we want within that group as well. So I think he is making a very strong case that at some point, we may have to make a decision and give him an opportunity. When that comes, obviously we'll wait and see. But he is certainly putting his best foot forward, and in the nets, I'm sure you guys have watched as well, the nets, he's looked extremely good, and he's taken everything that the batting coaches have thrown in. Well, we have to address the fact that at this moment in time, I thought we have to accept it. We're not getting those runs, so we have to look at the why and the how, really. It's A to B is, get as big first innings run to then put pressure on the opposition. How they get there, they've got to find a way of using their skills to do that. So the questions have been posed to them, bring some ideas, how do we best help you do that? And the question has been posed to the batting group, the batting coaches as well, but making sure that we're giving them the best opportunity to be successful. But ultimately, if it isn't working, then I have to take a view of, well, why isn't it working and how do I change that? Like I say, I have invested in these guys. I would rather be accused of giving somebody one too many chances than not enough. I've made that clear from the start. But you're quite right. At some point, I will have to make a decision. He's making all the right noises, to be honest. It wasn't quite there for the first test, so that's why I sort of made the decision not to roll with him and give him some extra time. So the next couple of days, obviously, we'll continue to push him. The S&Cs and the coaches pushed him hard this week just to try and give it a test out. But we'll know more over the next couple of days from the training, just to make sure he is absolutely right. I want him to be right before he puts himself back into obviously the pressure situation that we all the lads playing during a test series. But he's making all the right noises at the moment.